Hello, and welcome to another episode of This Is Our Year. I am your host, Michael Kurland. I also am sick. That's why I sound like a frog or Bernadette Peters,
I was gonna say
depending.
you sound pretty fired down.
Yeah, what was that? What was that one? Sandra something or other. Anyway, that manly voiced actress from the
Oh,
'90s,
Sandra
Burkhart, Sandra
Burkhart.
Burkhart.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I sound like her right now. Um,
Have a few more
J-
cigs, Mike.
Yeah, it sounded like Selma from The Simpsons. Hey, Marge. Dougie Fresh joining me as always. Dougie,
Yo,
how are you doing today?
we're
Eh,
hanging in, man. It's a Thursday. It's maybe not quitting time, but we're gonna do the show anyway. So cheers, buddy.
Yeah,
I've showed you
yeah. What are we drinking?
zero gravity before, nothing new. But kind of my go-to when I'm just in a store and I don't know what to get. They make very good beer, and of course it's a double IPA. But fucking sue me. Sorry.
Hey, man. I two things. First and foremost, I don't know if your mic is kind of far or your volume's kind
Oh,
of low, but you're
yeah. This thing turns itself down, man. It's
yeah,
annoying.
yeah, yeah. You're good. You're good now.
Good
So
now, right?
that's yep. That's perfect. Just don't want to have to go back and have everyone tell us how they can't hear you again.
Uh,
All
Shout
28
out
of
to
our
Mayor for
followers.
saying that too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Someone's
Exactly.
watching. Watch out.
Yeah. Watch out now.
Watch out, Mike.
And the other thing is, I kind of feel bad every time we record because you just sit there and pound double IPAs, and like our audience only sees you from the chest up, your bust, if you will, and so um,
Should I be
they don't
showing more
know.
pecs? More
No, but they don't. Those are biceps, but they don't know that you're like
no,
you're
and biased. Come on. Anyway.
they
Woo!
don't know that you're like a lanky guy, besides looking like the guy from Grand
Oh,
Theft Auto
I
1.
like where this is going, actually. I think I know where you're going with this. But
Yeah,
oh dude,
yeah,
I am a very lanky guy, always been. My dad
yeah.
actually just asked me today, make sure you don't put on all the weight I did. He did. And I said, dude, I'm already 44. I don't think it's happening.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
um, and I'm not TB12 over here. I'm eating pizza and garbage, and I don't drink as much as I used to. This is mostly for show these days, but yeah, I'm lucky in that regard. I got other
Yeah.
issues though, so
Oh yeah, we all do. We don't need to get into those, but what I'm trying to say is, you put back two to three. I don't think you put back two double IPAs. We hop off here, maybe crack a third, and that's just like happy hour before you cruise into your night with your fiance. And
yeah.
I don't want to get you in trouble, but I'm sure that some of those nights end a little gray for you.
Sometimes, and
Yeah,
you know, Jenny likes to partake lately too. She has a very stressful job, but I wish I had crazy stories for you, man. But again, we're in our 40s. I think you know what's up.
I know.
I have a couple of these, and then I just kind of sink into the couch.
Right.
It's been a long day, but it's nice to do this with you, man. So cheers. Are you
Cheers.
drinking anything or?
I'm drinking fucking lemon ginger tea because I had my first. So my baby is about to turn 4 months on Monday, which is super exciting, but also kind of scary that it's already been 4 months. I can't believe how time flies.
Yeah.
And she got sick for the first time last Wednesday, so a week ago, and she has now passed that sickness on to me and my wife, and we are just doing everything we can to get better.
First of
And
many.
that, yeah, oh, dude, we had so Alex's sister lived with us for a couple months a few years ago, and she has twin boys, and they're three, a little almost three and a half now. They were one when they lived with us, and they came home from daycare, and I've never been sicker in my recent memory than when I got sick from whatever the boys had at daycare. I mean,
Yeah.
it was the catalyst that made me decide I'm not sending my child to daycare because it's just a
Like
fucking petri dish.
proto
So
bird flu. Yeah, that's
yeah,
what I hear. I wouldn't know,
yeah,
but
no,
it's the mixing of the kids. I tell you, I don't
yeah,
know. That doesn't sound good.
no.
Anyway, long and lanky. Although by the way, I am like 200 pounds, so I think that does help with the alcohol. Somehow I do like way like in the 200s, which kind of blows my mind too. But
Well,
anyway,
you're also like 6'3", 6'2",
yeah,
6'1". How tall are you? 6'2"?
6'1" probably is correct.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
You're way
Kind of
taller
a
than me.
sloucher too.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
I thought you were going with Engvall here because he apparently is built like me, except I'm not ripped like he is. But
No,
he's
so
big, tall guy.
six five.
Kind of soft though. I hear. At
Well,
least
I
this is
don't.
from Leafs fans. So it's relative, but
Leafs fans hate everybody because they haven't
yeah,
won a fucking championship in 70 years. So, um,
we'll
I
see
will
what's up with this guy.
say, Engvall. Have you seen him up close and personal? He
I saw
is
some pictures, but
he is Brock Nelson's doppelganger. He looks dead like Brock Nelson, but with a French Canadian accent.
do you think he looks like
It's
Brock, like Abe
yes,
Lincoln kind of, bro? Like,
dude. Go look at the last interview and then like look at Brock, and they're not dead
okay.
ringers, but definitely looks like a younger French Canadian version of Brock.
You know why I say that is because the pictures I saw, he looked like actually like a European F1 driver, like kind of like model, like and
Yes,
he's from Sweden, so you know those guys come correct, and that's a beautiful country, right? But yeah, I got to check that out again with looking like Brock, because Brock always reminds me of like Stoner Abe Lincoln,
yes.
like
Brock
he really
actually
does.
reminds me of. Uh, I don't know why. Maybe just because of the way we grew up, but you remember Eric Bernheim. He reminds me of his brother Ken back in the day.
Yeah, okay,
Yes, yeah,
I
it looks
see it.
like Ken to me. So, and
Shout out
they,
to the Bernheims.
yeah, shout out to the Bernheim bunch. So, um, but yeah, let's lead off with some fucking hockey. Trade deadlines tomorrow. We normally be recording tomorrow, but we got some busy Friday stuff going on in the real world work world. So sorry to viewers that are watching right now.
Yeah,
You're just tuning in
you,
early,
you
missing
can mute the hockey. It's fine. It
missing the
won't be
trade
affected.
deadline special. So
Oh, that too.
we got Engvall. What do you think about that trade?
Fine. They need bodies. Third round pick. Don't care.
2024
Um,
third round pick. Don't care.
yep. Dude's like what, 26. Free
26
agent.
years old.
Free agent after the year. But if he looks good, I'm sure Lou will give him some years. So
12 goals, 9 assists on the Leafs, playing mostly on the third line, I believe.
yeah,
I think that's
Josh
where he's
Bailey
gonna.
numbers.
Yeah. Oh, better than Josh Bailey. Josh Bailey has 7 goals.
He slides right in.
Huh.
But
He's
yeah, because
not making 5
I
million.
think Bailey's on his way out either in a trade like you mentioned last night or just a buyout. It makes sense to buy him out next year. It's only like
Yeah.
a 1 point something on the cap,
Yeah. It's
and
time
he
for him to
just looks
go.
washed. Although you know
He
he had a nice goal the other night, but
finally, I mean,
yeah,
he was able to functionally kick the puck to his stick and then put it in. It was very nice. I don't
it
know.
was. But dude, like
Wish
half the team is right here. Half the team is Bridgeport right now.
right.
They needed to make that Engvall trade. Look, it's still only like what 30% chance they even make the playoffs. Um, they're gonna need some luck, but you know, Lou's going for it as you said.
Well, I mean, I get, Barzell goes down. We got 4 games in hand, and we're I don't know how many points up, but we were in the seventh. We were in the seventh seed, right? We were in the like top of the wild card seed. So
I don't look at it that way because
I mean, I think, but that's how if he had,
I guess that's what you
I,
have to. But
yeah, like if you had dealt from that position, you were giving up on the season. I think the whole team would have just been like, "What the fuck," you know?
oh yeah, but
And
they're still
so,
like 10th or ninth in points percentage. That's they they still need to do some work, is what I'm saying.
yes, but they did. I mean, they did do work on this recent
They
trip. They
did
got 7 out of a possible 8 points.
with a shit
Uh,
lineup. So
with a shit lineup. So the fact
who
that
knows?
they were able to get, only leave 1 point on the table is pretty amazing. And now it just comes down to what are we doing between now and 3 p.m. tomorrow Eastern time?
You'd think it's a D man. They
Y-
need some help. Blue line. You need to get Aho off regular shifts. I think he's just a disaster. I kind of like the guy's skill, but yeah, just watch him or count how many times he falls down, or make it a drinking game.
Right.
Maybe I'll do that
Uh,
on Saturday
we
afternoon.
we should do
Just
that.
just
We
get
should do
hammered
that.
again.
Aho, how many times Aho falls
Oh,
without any reason. I
with
like
or
it. I
without,
think
yeah, double it
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Every time his butt hits the ice, you got to drink. We would both
Yeah.
be way drunker than after this show. So I agree. I think we do need a. I think it boggles my mind why we didn't give a 2026 third round pick to Arizona for Gastabar Bear, however you say his
Oh yeah.
name. Yeah, instead of Carolina, that would have been
Well,
like the
they
perfect
have
guy
this
to come
year's
in.
third, right?
I mean, we have every third except for next year. So
Oh no, no,
I
no. They have this year's for the lad trade. I read.
oh, okay. Well, whatever. We could have
Yeah.
given him a 2026, and
But speaking of Arizona, and you know we love talking about Arizona Coyotes,
we do. I
best
don't
team
know
ever.
why. Yeah.
What Jacob Chikrin ended up going for is just got to be disappointing if they have any fans, and that kind of sucks. I mean, like maybe it was not going to happen, but Lou, you think Lou could match another first and like a couple other picks, right? That's like all
Yeah.
it was in the end,
There's a
and
first, second, and
he'd
a
be
third.
perfect. He'd be fucking
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. So my question to you is, okay, we definitely need a puck moving defenseman. I don't know who. I don't know who at this point
Right,
because whatever.
Eric
But
Carlson
I don't think it's happening. I mean, he makes 11 million plus for the
for like
next 3 years.
4 or 5 years or
Yeah. So
something.
obviously we'd have to give up Bailey and that, and then that. But we're still upside
Shit, give
down
him
almost
Palmieri. Like take out one of
7
those
million.
longer ones.
I don't think they want to do that though. They're trying to rebuild. But
Right.
I'm going to pivot here.
Yeah.
And Chicago has a guy named Max Domi that is an unrestricted free agent, 28 years old. And I've heard rumblings that we may be in on him. What are your
He's a
thoughts
forward.
on that?
He's a
He is a
forward.
forward.
His dad, we used to call him Ty Dummy. I'm sure you remember him.
No, I definitely remember him.
Huge fucking idiot who would
Yep.
punch people.
Followed by
Max,
Sean Avery, also a huge fucking idiot. Just a long line lineage of Ranger goons.
the
But yes,
douchebags. Well, no, I think of Domi actually as a Leaf with Darcy Tucker and
yeah,
Gary Roberts and all those scumbags. God, that was a fun year.
yeah, it
Oh
was.
God, what were we talking about? Oh, Max Domi. He can score a bit. I think he has some grit. Um, is he also unrestricted after this year?
He is. But I
Why
think,
not?
I mean, if we can get him for cheap and re-sign him, and inject some more youth into this team, a gritty guy. I don't know if Pajot's on the fucking block. That's what they keep
He
saying,
should be.
that he's expendable now with Horvat in here. Horvat is
He
just a better
he
version of
should be because his
Pajot.
contract. I like JG, but he's breaking down,
Right. And
and
he's still got 3 years left, right? So
3 more years.
right. So I don't know, man. I'm interested to see what Lou does. I don't think he's going to trade any of the guys. If he can bring in Domi and a defenseman, great. If he can't, that's probably what's going to happen. Is that nothing's going to happen, and we're going to be sitting here tomorrow and be like, cool.
Well,
Aho's still here, and
I don't know.
great.
I like most years, like that used to be the Garth thing, right? He would pick up some like scrub. I wasn't expecting Enball. That came out of nowhere. So, but yeah, either way, Dobson needs to play with someone who's defensively responsible because Aho's rubbing off on Dobson. Like, did you see that dumbass pass? Like, he just giving away the puck now. I mean, they've all kind of regressed this year defensively, uh, which, as you know, I tend to blame the coaching for that when everybody looks worse. But either way, God, that blue line needs some help if they're going to have any prayer against like Boston or Carolina or who knows. By the way, New Jersey, man, what a team!
What a
What a
team.
scary team. I would love to play them first round. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, I think at this point we're just trying to get in the playoffs this year and make some noise and see what happens.
But we'll
But
have to
it's
have Rosen on if that happens, though.
oh yes, we will.
Oh
That'll be a show. A chip and a dream, right? So, hey, if we get in, cool. If we don't get in, also whatever. I think it's time
it's not
to
great, but
realize it's not great, but it's time to realize that the retool is upon us. I don't know what's going to happen, but let's play the season out like we're trying to get in. And I wouldn't be surprised if we added two pieces tomorrow, and I wouldn't be
yeah,
surprised if we did nothing. I
yeah,
don't think we're going to trade Varlamov and Mayfield, although I think or Pajot. I think those moves should happen, but
I agree.
I don't think we will.
And that's fine. I'm kind of resigned to that. There's one guy you just have to figure out going forward what you're going to do with, and that's the goalie. He is incredible, Ilya
Yes.
Sorokin. Like he's better than we ever could have expected, man. Like
Well,
just keeping this team absolutely afloat.
I
So,
mean, we're going into his contract year,
yep,
and he could UFA after next year. We have got to lock him up.
Yep.
right? But I mean, does Lou want to pay? I mean, he's going to want 10 million a year, I would assume, right? He's going to want 10 million a year as a
What did?
goaltender, and
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I mean,
I was
that's
I was just
where
gonna
I'm at.
ask. Has Igor gotten a big contract yet? Shesterkin on
No, I think it's
Rangers.
Shesterkin. I think Shesterkin has a little bit more RFA term
Yeah,
because
I think you're right.
Ilya came in and negotiated. That's remember he came in that first year. He signed like 10 games to go, and he burned a year of RFA
Yep.
because that was his whole thing. He's like, if I'm going to come over, I'm not waiting 2 years to go UFA or whatever.
All right.
So he's got a year on Shesterkin.
So like
So
Vasilevsky would be the contract comparison then, I guess. Which I
I mean,
think he makes like
it's
9
gonna
or 10,
be,
right?
yeah, it's gonna be between eight. I think Bobrovsky leads the
Well,
NHL with
oh,
10
yeah, but
million a
that's
year.
stupid. Yeah, right.
It is stupid, but
And Carey Price and all that, but
so I think it's going to be between 8 and 10. Are we going to get
yeah.
a hometown discount? I don't fucking know. I
If
mean,
we
Lou's
keep
good at
Varlamov around, maybe.
Lou's good at getting that hometown discount. Hey, if we can re-sign Varlamov for like 2 years, 4 million,
Yeah, send me.
fine, fine. But I don't know if Varlamov's going to want to do that. I don't know if he wants to go out there and see what he can get. He's going to be 35 after this year. Still got a couple years left. He could probably be a starter on a couple teams, but I don't think they're going to be playoff teams. You know, so
Right.
we'll see. We'll see. But we've wasted 15 minutes now talking about the New York Icelanders and their
I just
eighth
want to say
place.
it's been crazy across the NHL this week. Just the amount of trades, man. It's kind of cool to see. It's kind of old school. So yeah,
Uh,
it's been a lot of fun. Like no matter what happens, I'm locked in. I'm into this shit.
and
See what
I
goes.
and I, I have to say, I hate to say it, but I have to say it, and you've been saying it for a long time. Chris Drury, tip of the hat, Trumbull boy. Like what you're doing to that team over there. I don't know how you're doing it, but you are building. You did the rebuild the right way, and you're doing what I wish we did a couple years ago.
It helps when a
And
couple players will only play for your goddamn team. I mean, and then you win the lottery twice. But the Adam Fox thing bothers me the most. I know Patty Kane just did the same thing, but it's a completely different situation. So yeah,
I mean,
I'm always going to
they
be a
do it
hater.
in
I'm always
they
going to be
do it in
sore
the
about that.
NBA
But
all the time
yeah,
too, right? So I mean,
it's coming to the NHL.
like
So
think about it, man. Like, what if your
I'd want to play in the
company
Garden, I guess.
what if your
Um,
company could trade you to any other company that was shitty in your industry, and you couldn't, and you had to like move and go somewhere? Like, I don't know, man. I don't hate on player empowerment. I think I just hate when the Rangers are the beneficiaries of it, right? But
right when they're like, oh, they're the only team that that's like at least make them pay. Like that's when the commission me like comes out, and it's like, what are we doing here? Like, and by the way, Arizona, like half their payroll's fake right now. Anyway,
right. Which is
we could
why
talk
I
about it
don't
another night,
understand
but
why Josh Bailey hasn't been traded to Arizona yet. But maybe he goes to Chicago in this because they're also going full tank and trying to be terrible. So why not add Josh
we
Bailey?
need the dues.
This is gonna help you. So, but let's talk about the New York Mets. Spring
Dude,
training is upon us.
baseball. I like baseball.
Baseball, yeah, baseball's here. New rules. Everyone's freaking pitch count, pitch clock, and balks and bigger bases and all this bullshit. But
I think most
we,
people like it so far. What do you
I
think?
love it. I
Yeah,
love it. I will tell you, and I'll tell you why I love it. When COVID hit, we all lost sports for like 6 weeks, right? And then the
6 months.
well, internationally, we lost sports for 6 weeks, and then Italy and Germany brought soccer back
No,
within.
that's right.
I want to say they came back within 2 months.
There was some Korean baseball too. I remember.
Yeah, so
But
whatever.
times were tough, man. Yeah.
Times were tough. So I started watching Serie A and Bundesliga
Hmm.
on ESPN, and I love soccer now. I wasn't really into soccer before COVID, and COVID has made me a soccer fan. And the thing I love most about soccer, 100%, is that it starts at whatever time it starts, and it ends within 2 hours and 10 minutes after the fucking time that it starts, no matter what. Maybe there's a little bit of more extra time, 5, 10 minute swing, but within 2 hours and 10 minutes, that game's
Yeah.
over. And I can get on with my fucking day and I can go do what I want to do. And I can, not, my wife's not screaming, hey, it's been 4 hours. Can I not watch fucking soccer all day? When baseball didn't have the pitch clock, you're talking 4 hour games sometimes. I don't even want to watch a fucking 4 hour game. I'm like, this is boring. I don't need to watch the first 3 innings. I don't care about this. I'm going to
Yeah.
just watch it on replay and fast forward through it. But now that you've truncated the game down to 2.5 hours,
Yeah.
still 30 minutes more than I want to spend, or 20 minutes more than I want to spend. But I can justify 20 minutes.
I
I
think
can't
that's about
justify.
right for baseball, though. Like, I
Yeah,
think when we were growing up in the '80s, that's what the games were.
it was. So
And
80s were 2.5, 90s were 240,
yeah,
2000s were like three, and the last
it just keeps getting worse,
20
right?
years has been 3.5.
Like all this stuff with the gloves and stepping out, and
Well, dude, I love that the guys have to step in and they have to make the pitch within 15, 20, or 30 seconds, depending on, what the bases are,
yeah. And
runners on base. So I loved it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I
uh,
love it.
speaking of the '80s, the bases are bigger, which means the bases are closer. More stolen bases, more action,
Yep.
and
They were talking about it today. Braves think there's going to be 3 40 guys on the Braves this year.
yeah, yeah. Why not? Like Acuna, and
Hmm.
who else would it be? Harris
Harris and
and
Albies, maybe.
Albies.
I
Yeah,
don't know. I
I
don't know.
guess
I don't know if he's going to hit 40 home runs, but maybe he's
Vaughn
going to.
Grissom. What a cool name,
Fuck that guy.
and he's not related to Marquise.
Right. Fuck that
Disappointing.
guy. Fuck that guy.
Well, fuck all the
He.
Braves, but
I know, but he was the one that
well-run org.
really beat the. Well, I mean, they also cheated. Let's not forget about how the Braves cheated the system for a long time, and the biggest penalty they got was like they lost their international signing money and I think a draft pick. Like they
Yeah,
cheated bad with the
but
international
like a bunch of
international
teams
free
have
agents.
cheated bad.
I guess I don't know, man. I mean, you look at
True.
that pipeline, dude. Like
Oh,
they,
I'll hate on the Braves. Yeah,
yeah,
fuck 'em.
that was a lot of cheating. I think
It's
also their general manager like lost his job and got banned from baseball or some shit like that. Like
yeah.
it was like bad cheating, dude. So and like yes, like they had consequences, but like they still got to keep all the fucking players.
Oh, I know.
So
So
and
it's
now
really
all those fucking players are signing for 10 cents on the dollar, which I don't get that one. There's got to
that
be
part's
something.
annoying. Like, yeah, like you want to
Dude,
live.
there's gotta be something going on, in my opinion, behind the
Hmm.
scenes. Like, hey, sign this contract,
Yeah,
and we'll give you an endorsement with whoever the fuck owns the Braves.
yeah,
You
like
know.
the old college thing, like dark money under the table.
Hmm.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah, you
like
can
why
be.
would you take a discount to live in suburban Georgia? No offense, suburban Georgia, but a
It's
little bit of
bad.
offense.
I will say, I will say that their stadium area is actually awesome, and
I'm
it's
sure it is.
it's better than. I mean, everything's better than where around City Field, and like it has that feel. Like I don't know if you've ever been in St. Louis, but it's a ballpark area. It's like Wrigleyville. You go. There's nothing but bars and restaurants around it. You can
That's
walk
cool.
around with open container from bar to bar in the little confined street
Oh, word.
area, and then you
Okay.
can walk into the stadium with a drink. There's
I
like
think the
bands and
Nationals
stuff.
have that too, right?
I've never been to
Yeah.
National Stadium. That's on the list of places I got to get to, but Atlanta, St. Louis, Chicago all partake in that.
Nice.
I'm sure there's other cities that do as well, but yeah.
Well,
So it's kind of awesome there, but I wouldn't
kind
want
of
to
back.
live there.
Oh no.
No,
I mean, I could think of worse places. Don't get me wrong, but anyway, like back to the rule changes. It's going to be fun. As you mentioned, like baseball is kind of a background thing for me. Like I love it because I don't have to be locked in. Because it's a hard time focusing sometimes, especially after a long day. But yeah, we'll have to pay more attention. But I've come up with some downsides, and I've seen these online too. I'm not claiming originality. Uh, Less time to go get a beer if you care. How about 90 seconds less of Gary, Keith, and Ron every half inning? Adds up. We're spoiled. We have good announcers, man. No,
we do.
none of this is doing it for you.
Nope. Nope.
Oh,
Don't
I
give a fuck.
still hate the extra inning rule. Don't care.
I don't
I will
because
compromise on maybe like 10th inning or 11th inning. I'm sorry, 11th inning, but like play at least one more regular inning, please.
I don't
Please.
because
Okay.
because here's why I don't. And this has always been a pet peeve of mine for extra innings. I think extra innings is stupid. In the playoffs, fine. It makes sense to totally play it like you would normally, right? But
Which
during
they
the regular
do, right?
yeah,
Just
but
making
during the
sure. Yeah.
but during the regular season, you can burn a bullpen out. Like
Yeah.
let's say game 1 of a series goes extra innings and you guys or game 3 of like let's say the Mets are playing the Nats, and it's the third game of the series, and that we got the next three games against like the Braves, and the Braves are in first place, and the Braves are playing the Pirates, and they just fucking smashed the Pirates. Didn't use their bullpen, and then we have to go to extra innings. We end up playing 18 innings. We burn our entire bullpen out. We got to fucking call up some asshole from AAA to fucking be available the next day, and then we are playing the Braves. And the
Oh
first guy
yeah.
out of the bullpen is fucking Hingle McCringle, and that guy, and that guy gets bombed, and we lose that game because of the Nats 18 inning game the fucking night before.
Yeah.
Nope,
Well,
I
look,
hate it. I hate it.
as I said, I'm down for it a little later. I just think 10th inning, you can handle it. I don't know. Especially we're carrying 13, 14 pitchers anyway.
Also, Doug, you and I were at the fucking Grand Slam single game.
I'm sure
That
that
was
influenced me.
that was in like the 18th inning. That was
That was.
literally in the 18th inning, bro. That was we watched two full baseball games that day,
Remember what sucked
and
about that day?
yeah, we got cut off in the seventh inning, and we were shit faced.
For a
And by the
playoff game for
18th inning,
sellout.
in the 18th inning, bro, I was so hungover that I just wanted the
Yeah.
game to end because my
Already
head hurt.
hungover.
Yeah,
Already hungover
yep,
at the game that
yep,
I was drinking at.
yep, exactly. So, no, I love the runner on
You
second. Start the 10th inning. Let's go.
yeah. I guess it's not baseball though. The Wilpons must have been like so angry they couldn't sell more beer for that. By the way,
I mean,
hi Fred.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
what else? Before we like jump into the Mets, we should do like a 2-part preview for the Mets anyway. So I think today we're just like catching up. I like today. I forgot the Trey Turner's on the Phillies. I'm not in baseball mode yet. Are you?
I've been watching the games the last few days. The nice thing for me is that they're on at like 10 a.m. here, so I can get my workout in my gym and
Nice.
watch a little spring training baseball. You know, I watched Scherzer's first outing. I haven't seen. I don't know if Verlander's pitched yet.
Yeah, I don't think
Just
he has.
yeah, just watching the guy. You know, Lindor and Beatty and Alonso have started off the spring hot. I will tell you the thing I don't like is the fucking World Baseball Classic.
Agreed.
Stupid, stupid. Hey, let's do a fucking tournament in the preseason when the pitchers aren't really ready to throw innings, and let's make it like 2 weeks long, and let's every year someone gets Tommy John. I mean, this
I
is
know.
what fucked Seth Lugo up 2 years ago. He's never been the same since fucking stupid
I don't.
World Baseball
Yeah,
Classic.
man. Like, why can't they do this after the season? I guess there's a good reason, and I know this is all bargain with the players, obviously. So I think the players are into it though. Like,
I think they
especially the
are because
guys
it's a way to
from other
represent their
countries.
countries. Yeah, and
I feel
it's
like you could host in the Caribbean every time though, like in November
yeah,
or even
I
October.
think it's exactly what you said, man. I think it's not adding more work days for them because if you do it after the season ends
That's
and
their vacation.
they're on vacation, right now you're taking part of spring training. But I mean,
Yeah, you can't go full
yeah,
force week 2 of spring training. Like,
no, I know,
and
and they are, and they fucking
and they're
are.
worried about Edwin Diaz with good reason.
Dude, I'm worried about every single one of our fucking players. Like
I know.
our entire infield is fucking playing in the goddamn World Baseball Classic. It's I don't care who fucking wins. I could give a fuck. I hope that none of our pitchers pitch, and I hope none of our
Yeah,
players get injured. Right? Because to your
like
point, like Edwin Diaz, dude, do we need him throwing like extra innings
trying to lock
at full
down like 3
force?
games in a row to get the championship, you know,
Right. I don't give. I hope Puerto Rico gets eliminated in the first game by a blowout.
immediately. Yes.
Right. I hope Team USA gets eliminated immediately as well, so that Puerto Rico and USA, fine. Edwin, if Arthur, if Escobar wants to go play for
Yeah, like
Venezuela, I don't care. We got
and
Beatty.
honestly, like
Cool.
position players, fine. Like
Just
something
don't get
freak
hurt,
happens, but the pitchers, man, I don't.
dude. Well, that's why I
I
was
hate
so
it.
happy to hear Senga's not playing for Japan.
Oh,
Thank
good.
God. Yeah, but we got Diaz is pitching. Who else? I think Quintana's pitching for Colombia. Um,
So
I don't know.
Max and Justin aren't though, right?
No, they're not playing. I mean, which is fine, but I'm sure someone else in the fucking bullpen is pitching. So
Carrasco maybe.
I hope not. I hope not.
Yeah.
Carrasco is Mr. Glass. He is playing.
Oh no. I'm just agreeing with you that this is a shitty idea, and
Shitty idea.
Fingers crossed, right?
Please stop doing this baseball to
What
sell
is this?
more
Every
jersey.
couple of years? Every
It's
3
every
years?
2 years, and
2 years?
it's to sell fucking jerseys and
Dude,
fucking.
Americans don't give a shit about this. It's all the other countries. So
That's fucking dude. I mean, you already have the Winter Baseball League. Can we just like do this at the end of the year? To your
bless you.
point. So yeah, man. So what do you want to do? You want to talk about the fucking offense? Or you want to talk about the defense? You want to talk about the pitching or the offense?
Want
What
to talk
was
about
it say?
Star Wars? I'm
I
kidding.
mean, dude, have you started watching The Mandalorian
No,
and
no, I haven't. Oh, but
they just
is
dropped
it true that you had to have pretty much watched the Boba Fett show to understand where they're picking up?
in The Mandalorian season 3? Probably because I'm watching
That
Boba
sucks.
Fett now, and I finished Mandalorian season 2, which Boba Fett was in.
Right.
So
I think I remember
I'm
that
assuming you'll have to watch it to make sense.
because
So
everybody hated that one, right? So I
Boba
skipped it.
Fett.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that great, but it's not terrible. I actually was watching it in the gym yesterday, and my wife was on the Peloton, and she doesn't know shit about Star Wars. And I'm not that big of a geek about Star Wars. I'm more of a Marvel guy. But I'm
Right.
watching this Boba Fett, and I'm just kind of like, this was not as well done as the Mandalorian. And she finally looks at me, and she goes, "This is
How,
so fucking weird. Like, what the fuck is going
yeah.
on?" And
Probably
I
like,
just
how can you
laughed.
tell? Like, this is all
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it's
But
ridiculous. It's dude,
no,
it's
but like Andor was
ridiculous.
great. So like I'm back in. I did the first two seasons of Mandalorian. I just like Luke. Spoiler alert, but like Luke shows up at the end, and
Yes, I saw that.
um,
Well,
yeah,
you saw Boba
I'm
Fett then in the
no, I
end of
didn't.
he was in the Mandalorian season 2.
Oh yeah, like I might have seen that. I don't remember.
Yeah,
That
he
could have
was
been
in the
that
last 2 or 3 episodes.
could have been 20 years ago. The way my brain is these days, but
Yeah. So
um,
anyway, I'm watching now Boba Fett, which is actually a couple years old. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. Like he's basically like a mob boss, and that's kind of like the whole on
Boba
Tatooine. Yeah, and he took over for
Jabba.
fucking Jabba. Yeah, and
Oh, so
so
so so he survives the sand pit. Obviously, I'm probably way behind on. Actual Star Wars fans are gonna mad at me for saying that, but
yes, so he actually wakes up. That's how the series starts. He wakes up in the belly of the like sand monster, and then climbs his way out. He like kills it from the
oh,
inside and climbs his way out.
fun.
Yes,
I mean, my
it was.
childhood is forever spoiled.
Yes,
Those three movies were just perfect, right?
I mean they were great at the time, right?
At the time.
You know what? I'm actually looking forward to shift gears, talk a little bit about sports, but mostly more about movies. Is Creed 3?
Oh yeah,
Have you
you're into that series. I've heard it's great. I haven't seen it.
you never watched Creed 1 or 2? Douglas, my friend, what the fuck is wrong with you? Way better
Not much of a
than
Michael B. Jordan guy, man. I'm sorry. He was great in The Wire.
he. I will tell you, Creed 1, 2, and 3 are fucking magnificently done. Well, 1 and 2. I've never seen 3
Okay,
yet. Yeah, it comes out on Friday.
like really,
Better
really
than
good. Like
yes,
not
like
just throwaway movies that get you
uh,
fired up for a night, and then you forget.
no. I
Okay,
think they are actually. I don't know. How do you feel about Rocky?
Rocky's great. But
All
speaking of the
like
'80s,
yeah. Which Rockies do you like? Which ones do you not like, or do you like them all? Do you care?
I think I think the universal ranking for the first four, and that's the only ones I'll talk about, is I'm pretty much in line with that. Although I was always a little contrarian about four. I think people blow up four a little too much, but
Right.
I'm not. It's one and four, and then two and three, however you want to order them. Probably three is
Sure.
the worst, right?
I mean, 3 is awesome because it has Mr. T and Hulk Hogan,
Yeah,
right? So
but like, are we having a critic conversation, or like what was awesome when I saw it first time? When I saw it the first time in 1985, Rocky 3 was sick. Hulk
right.
Hogan and Mr. T, right?
Right,
And
Clubber Lang and
yeah,
Mr. something or other.
Mr.
Um,
Wonderful or whatever it was.
so
But again,
I
this
agree with
stuff
you.
is so
1 4,
serious now. So I almost
1
hate
4
how like
2 3, right? And
yeah.
then 5 was complete garbage, and then they
I
made
might
this
put
other.
one number one. By the way, we could argue about that.
Well, one won the fucking Academy Award that year. I mean, everyone agreed it was a great movie, right? So I even
But
I think 2 also won it, right? Like 1 and 2, didn't they
yeah,
both
like
win?
I think think I'm not sure if 2 won anything, but
Well,
solid flick.
one definitely won. I know that
Yeah,
for a fact. So so you go one, two, one, four, two, three, however you want to rank it.
yeah.
Five
That's
was a
probably my
steaming
ranking.
yeah. Five was a steaming pile of dog shit. Then the movie Rocky Balboa was a steaming pile of dog shit. And then there was like this big gap. And then they came out with Creed. Creed is better than four, in my opinion. And
Well,
then, yes, and then Creed 2 picks up the storyline at the end of four. So there's a big tie-in. It doesn't pick it up at the end of four, but there's a big tie-in between Rocky 4 and Creed 2, which is awesome. And now they're coming out with three, and three looks. I mean, it's got Jonathan Majors as the bad guy, and he's like the ultimate bad guy because he's also the bad guy in Marvel now as King the Conqueror. And
yeah,
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I know these things.
So anyway, when
No,
you are bored and
yeah,
want
no,
to catch up,
hell yeah, that sounds awesome. Especially if you're saying it's better than 4. I'm intrigued now, and um, I had some kind of comment like, does Carl Weathers reprise his role as a ghost like he was Chubbs in Happy Gilmore? Does he like?
yes, yeah, he's
Nice.
there.
I'm definitely in.
Yes, he's
If we get some Carl Weathers or some
yeah,
Chubbs or whatever you want to call him,
yeah, yeah. No, he's not.
ghost of
He's a couple pictures on the wall. That's about it.
ah,
So yeah, but anyway, we're way off topic here. So what are we talking? Fuck the World
we
Baseball
certainly
Classic.
are. Uh, well, that stuff's more interesting than the World Baseball Classic, man.
Yes,
Oh
hundred
God.
percent, hundred
Um.
percent.
Oh yeah. Like what the hell's going on? So they re-signed Keith.
Which
Prices
was
averted.
yes, thank God, dude. Uh, if the fucking Wilpons fucked us by not
Yeah.
re-signing Keith, I mean I would have done nothing about it, uh, but I would have complained to you on this show really, really hard,
Yes.
hard.
Yes.
And did you see this fucking guy? Came out and shat all over the Wilpons the other day,
Oh, did he?
backhandedly. Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
I
He was
like
basically
Zach
like,
Wheeler did. So.
yeah, he was basically like, I don't want to say all my time with the Mets was bad. I have some good memories. Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
Jesus.
yeah,
That's some shade.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I heard he said something like he loved his teammates and shit like that. So I just kind of
Yeah, I
kept
think it
going.
was all focused on the Wilpons, all the
Yeah,
shit.
I didn't realize he dragged the owners. That's great. They if you're watching this, we don't need to tell you that they deserved it. So
Yes, they ran the business like a small market team to try and turn a profit every year, which they did. I'm sure. I'm sure they made money every fucking year, and at the
well,
expense of the product they put on the field and the
they were always
fans.
kind of shitty, but they lost me at Bernie Madoff. So it was what 12 years of dealing with like that until they sold. That seemed like it was an eternity, right?
Yes,
Like that whole
yes,
like they were obviously it was great that they got to World Series in 2015. They weren't supposed to that year, and that would have been an entire lost decade of Mets baseball
yep. Yeah,
because of the
that
fallout.
was all. That's why Terry Collins always has a special place in my heart.
I know, and it's ironic because everybody hated Terry until August of 2015. Like we were just done with him by then. So look, we that's what sports is, man. We're just talking shit. Like we wave in the wind on the Islanders every episode here. Like I've called them dead 3 different times this year. Now we're like, hey, fuck it, why not? They're still
Yeah,
alive.
let's go for it.
We're
Let's
not.
go for it.
Yeah, this isn't serious business, but seriously, the Wilpons did suck.
They still suck, and you know, I'm glad that Jeff has sunk into oblivion and is not to be heard from. I'm glad that Fred still gets to show up at spring training. I think that, you know, I
Does he
don't think
really?
it's yeah, he was at spring training the other day. I don't think it's all his fault, and I think Steve knows that. I think he was handcuffed by a lot of things, and I think he was his nepotism led to him making a lot of poor decisions. And you know, everyone's had that point in their career where the fucking boss's son was elevated into a role that they didn't belong in, and it was a turning point for something negative to happen at that place, right?
Yeah. And
So
a dictionary definition of fail son. And I don't know what else to say. I'm not going to dance on his grave when Fred passes away, but thing. I don't miss any of that era. It sucked, especially when, as you said, when you're in New York and the Yankees are across town, and every other team in the division has basically won since we were kids. So
Right.
we hung in, just like with the Islanders. That's why we're doing this show, man. We're stupid, we're insane, but we love these stupid, terrible teams. I'm repeating myself, but again, I'm drinking a double IPA.
It's true though, man. This is our year question mark, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
and like all we ever had for so many years was the off season because we would dissect these moves and be like, oh my god, we signed
Oh
fucking
yeah, dude.
Sean Green. We're gonna fucking be over the top. Yeah, Bernard
Which one? It
Gilkey.
doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
Jordani Valdespin might develop into a prototypical leadoff hitter with some pop.
Yeah, totally.
He
Stealing
just
30
has to
bases.
not tell his manager to suck his dick.
Did that happen?
Sorry. Yeah, he told Terry something like that.
I did not know that.
I think he got sent down, and I think probably for the last time, right? And yeah, he had a tantrum in the clubhouse.
Pro tip to anyone out there, and I recently had this happen at my office. I had someone not get a promotion that they thought that they were due, and when they were told that they didn't get the promotion, they decided it would be a great idea to curse out their manager. It didn't go over well. That person no longer works for us. And pro tip, like if something doesn't go your way, the last thing you probably want to do is curse out your manager. It's not going to end well. So, yeah.
Jeez, man. I'd love to hear more, but yeah, I'm sure you can't.
Yeah, I'll talk about the rest of it off air, but yeah, it was not smart. So what do you? I mean, what do you think though? We're coming back, right? This is our year. We're excited.
This is our year.
We spent so much money in the offseason. We've pissed off every other owner in baseball because they either don't want to keep up with our spending or they think that they want a salary cap, blah 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 blah, like all this bullshit. How do you feel?
I don't think we're alone though. Like, have you noticed San Diego's like dumped
the
$1 billion?
Padres, the Yankees,
Dodgers always.
Dodgers. Yeah, no, there's about 5 to 8 teams that spend, and then there's about
and the rest are like tax
15.
write-offs.
There's 15 teams that like just do enough, and then there's 5 to 8 teams that don't do anything and just want tax write-offs. To your point, so
or
all
just
that being said,
keeping the TV money, I should say, actually. But
yeah, well, I mean, look at that. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now that we can talk about, like Bally pretty much getting ready to go bankrupt. It's a huge problem because that's 18 of the 30 team, excuse me, money is going to go away after this year, and they're going to have to figure out where to put that.
You bring up a really good point, and it's we're 42 minutes in, so I think we're going to do the team preview next week, so there'll be a part 2. But just talking in general, and asking you, since you're out of market, you're out in LA, you probably have do you have like the MLB like season pass or whatever?
Yeah.
Do games get blacked out for you?
The Dodgers games get blacked out, and if they play the Angels, those games will get blacked out.
So would you pay $30 a month for, like, say, access to SNY? I don't know if you saw, but MSG is releasing one like a just directly. You could just buy access to the Knicks, Knicks, Nets, and the hockey teams, right? It's gonna be like 30 a month or like something a year. It's pricey.
I don't know. I mean, so usually when the Mets come to play the Dodgers, they only come once a year, right? So it's three or 4 games. So typically, I will go to 1 or 2 of those games. Usually 1 because Dodger Stadium is just such a fucking pain in the ass to get to, and then I'll go to the local bar and watch the game for those other games if I really need to see it.
So you would have no interest. Mets are a bad example, but like SNY may eventually do the same thing. That's probably what the teams or the RSNs
So if I could buy SNY and I could get all the Mets games no matter what, and then not buy the MLB package, I would probably do that because I don't really watch other baseball on that package.
That was my next question. So
yeah, like maybe I'll watch a game here and there, but typically, like, I don't care. I want to watch the Mets.
That's where this is all going.
Yeah, I mean it's
College for
how
each
it
team.
should be. It should be fucking a la carte. It's 2023. Like for every fucking sport, I should be able to say I'm a fucking Jets fan. I want
I
to
know,
just
right?
watch the Jet game, right? And then I can watch whatever's local game of the week on the NFL. For the Islanders, I just want the Islanders. For the
Yep.
fucking Mets, I just want the Mets. For the
Would you
fucking
pay
Nets,
$10 for a single Islanders game though? I mean, that's what
n-
they're talking about right now.
oh no, I don't think I pay $10. I pay for ESPN Plus $10 a month. It comes with so I can watch whatever I want on the hockey.
You get all the Isles games on that.
Yeah, unless the only time you don't get an Isles game is if it's on the NHL networks
Oh yeah, like TNT or something,
exclusively.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, or if it's on TNT or ESPN Game of the Week. But then I get those. But every once in a while, there's like an NHL network, like Saturday Game of the Week or
Yeah.
something. I think it's happened twice this year. So there's been about 2 games I didn't get, which
The
whatever.
Isles are never really on that. So that's the Washington Capitals kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think I wouldn't pay $10 per game, but I would pay a monthly fee to watch my team directly and not care about the other teams. I think if you did that, it would be, I don't know, it would go back to the teams with a shittier fan base would say, I don't have as much money as like the teams with the bigger fan base. And the answer to that is fucking market better. If
Yeah.
if
Try
you
hard.
want to get better more fans, you can get more fans. These teams are regionalized to a point where you have there maybe Baltimore and Washington, you're fighting for the same fan. New York Mets and Yankees are fighting for the same fan.
Right.
Dodgers are on an island. Ain't kind of the Angels. I don't know. They're fucking far enough apart that like they can market to different parts
Yep.
of SoCal, and then the Padres to their own part, and then you got San Fran and Oakland are kind of fighting for the same fan, but like market better, spend fucking money. You guys make millions of dollars.
Right.
It's like when baseball owners cry poor to me. It's like shut the
It's
fuck up.
bullshit. It's
It's
always
bullshit.
bullshit.
Yeah,
Let's
like
sell the team then.
you want to make more money. You don't want to fucking market. Go fuck yourself. Exactly.
Right.
Sell the fucking team.
And we know firsthand. We went to a World Series game that had Kansas City Royals fans like around us, and when those teams are good, say Pittsburgh goes nuts for the Pirates.
Right. They
It's
still
not a
have one of
lack
the
of
best
demand.
stadiums.
It's
No.
it's willful, either just being cheap or incompetence. I tend to think it's the former.
Well, they want to make money. They want
Right.
they want you can I'm sure the Mets are going to break even this year, right? Let's call it break even between them.
I don't care, but okay.
Let's talk business
Yeah.
for a second. I'm sure the Mets with a $350 million payroll and tax and all that bullshit between SNY and all their fucking advertising deals and ticket sales and whatever sales at the stadium, they're probably going to come close to breaking even because they spent a fuck ton of money and their payroll is really really high, and the luxury tax that they're going to have to pay. But if they win a fucking World Series, who gives a fuck, right? But
Right.
if you're Pittsburgh, right, you're operating like, if I keep the payroll at 50 million, we're gonna make 100 million. We're gonna put 50 million in our pockets, and that's
Yep.
how those motherfuckers think, right?
That's how it's
And
always been.
$50 million is a lot of money. So if you can make $50 million running a baseball team,
Oh yeah.
that's
And
fine, and that's what you want to do. That's fine, but don't
it's a free
fucking
country.
cry.
Sure.
Don't fucking cry
Yeah.
because Steve Cohen wants to spend $350 million. And
Right.
I'm not saying that the Pirates are crying, but there are teams out there crying,
There
right?
were teams crying, and look, if you're only looking at this as an investment, you don't give a shit about the on-field product, and you're just raking in the TV money, because there's no owner that buys a team and then sells it for less, right?
Right.
Not anymore.
And you're not taking,
even in the NHL, right?
even, I mean, I don't know. Did the Coyotes get sold yet? Is that
I don't
still
know.
what's
Yeah,
going on
well,
with that? That one is kind of a
we're going
ad
to
hoc,
become
right?
like the actual official pod of the Coyotes. We probably
We
mention
already
them more
are.
than anyone else.
We already are the.
No,
This is our year. Mets, Jets, Nets,
no, but
Islanders,
like
and Coyotes.
in general, getting invited to the club of a sports ownership means you just get to print money. I
Right.
will, unless somebody shows me an example otherwise. Like,
And they
what the
never
hell are
open
they
their
talking
books.
about?
Why
Nope.
would they? Why would they open their? Why would you not open your books if you
And
were
I
losing
get
money?
I get negotiating with your labor, capital versus labor, age old issue, but you can't come out and just lie to us. Some people
But
might
the
buy it, but
But and then you look at the other side of the coin, right? Like the NBA like the NFL is probably like owners rule, right? Players fucking don't even have guaranteed contracts. It's
It's
tougher.
crazy system, yeah.
They have a really big roster comparatively speaking to everyone else.
Shorter careers, all that.
Shorter careers, but you go to uh, the NBA, which is the complete opposite, where the players get 51%
Players rule.
of everything, and the owners get 49% of everything, and that league is run by the players. And it's not. I don't think it's. I personally think the NBA is on the downward trend. I think it's not, and also we're old in comparison to who they're marketing to.
Oh
So
yeah.
maybe it's not. Maybe the people they're marketing to, the younger generations, love it, and it's actually up and up and up. But
It's more
I
about
don't
the
think
players
so.
than the teams, though.
The product on the court sucks. Like I could give a
Do you
fuck
really
about
think
watching.
so?
Yeah, it's not fun to watch NBA
You don't
basketball
watch much
anymore.
regular season NBA?
I watched when Kyrie and KD were on Brooklyn, and I'm definitely a jaded fan right now because I keep looking at the standings and I'm like,
Oh, dude, they got waxed by the Knicks too, huh?
yeah, they've gotten waxed their last four. I mean, we're running a fucking. I don't even want to talk about it. They
Yeah, anyway,
stink right now, and it's not
yeah.
anyone's fault except Kyrie and KD because they're a
This
bunch
is
of
not your year
pussies.
for the Nets.
No, it's not going to be our year ever again. I mean, that team hasn't won a championship since before I was born. This is
Dr.
why
J, he got one
like set in the mid 70s, yeah. ABA
at Nassau Coliseum. I'm guessing then.
probably.
Yeah,
Cool. Mm,
the barn, baby.
the barn.
Sorry,
Cool.
I'm all over the place because
We
I
both
need
are all over
I
the
need
place. Yeah,
another.
pour it, man. Pour it up.
I
But
forgot to bring it in.
ah, go run. I'll
I got
keep
to
the
train a cat to slap one on their
I'll
back or
keep it
something.
going, dude. But I think we spent a shit ton of money. We didn't really bring anyone new in except for a couple of um, and I
Oh,
like
whoa! Oh, we're doing
and
Nets
Verlander obviously, right? And
and
Quintana,
Senga,
but and Senga, right? So we upgraded. Do you
Robertson,
think?
Rayleigh.
Let's talk about that. Do you think the rotation is upgraded, downgraded, even? Like,
Mm,
how do you feel?
very good question. I think that I'm gonna go. It's tough because it's Bassett and Walker versus Senga and Quintana. Basically, Verlander's an upgrade over Degrom. I'm sorry, I'm gonna just go with that until I'm proven wrong.
I 100% agree with you.
But Taiwan, I could see still having some really good years, or not. It's kind of annoying. He's on the Phillies too, isn't he? And Chris Bassett versus Quintana, I don't know. It's a tough call. I'll go with slight upgrade, but it's worrying, right? Because this is like one of the oldest rotations, like in baseball history, or something like that. Or it's up against the 2006 Mets, which we all loved, but they all fell apart. Obviously, and we know all about that goddamn year. Um, what do you think? Is it better?
Yeah, I think it's better, and mostly because Verlander is an upgrade over Degrom. But
Yeah,
Degrom hasn't pitched a full season in 3 years. Um, I think I think that Senga's an unknown, but I think
yeah. I'm not sure you pencil him in to be like a three yet.
no,
Who
but I
knows?
mean, who
We'll
knows?
see.
But I think Walker was a good four. I think they are paying him to
Yeah.
be a three, and I think that he hit his upside with us. I think he hit his peak with us. And I could be wrong. He could prove
Hope
us wrong.
so.
He's got a 4 year deal, but he went to Phillies, so I don't know. I think he's going to be the 10-10 with a 3.82 ERA for the next 4 years, and
Yeah.
there's something to say about the innings. But he also had a
Oh, yeah.
cliff every year. Every year he fell off the
He
cliff,
did. He
and
was better last year, but sure.
a little better last year. Bassett, I didn't love that he was. I think he was turning 35 this year, so
Yeah. So he's up there.
it's not like he was, between him and Quintana, like we got any younger, or I think they're about the same age. Quintana's just like a junk ball lefty, and Bassett
Yeah.
is kind of a junk ball righty, to be honest. And he threw a little bit harder with the sinker ball, but I think our rotation needed a lefty that could
Yes. No,
roll
that's a
out
good
every
call.
5 days. And I think when you throw Verlander and Max, and then you come back with, I think Quintana's gonna probably be the third starter if I had to guess to the year, because they're gonna want to play him off of those two guys and have fire and then junk ball lefty.
I mean, if you talk
So
about the first week, it might be one of Max or Justin in the first game, and then Quintana like in the second. They might want to space that out. Anyway, in terms of like ability to flame out, though, I trust Bassett more than say Senga and Quintana. I think there's more risk with those two. I've been underrating Quintana a bit. I think because I saw his career go down for a few years, right? And like you normally expect that's the natural progression, but he's bounced back the last couple of years to his credit.
yeah,
Um, so
he only had one. If you really look at his numbers, he only had like one really bad year, and then he's had a lot of league average years, and he's had a
yeah,
couple of really good years, and he had a great year
right.
last year. I think I think one thing that everyone used to love Rick Peterson and think that he was such a pitcher whisperer,
I
and
don't love that era.
yeah, he wasn't as good as he was advertised. But I
No,
will tell you, from my perspective, Jeremy Hefner is a pitcher whisperer. And what he teaches these guys to do and how our guys pitch now,
love it.
I think Quintana being league average and on the up, and Kodai Senga, and even what he's done with Carlos Carrasco at the end, the tail end
Yeah.
of his career. I
Speaking of
think,
guy who's looking bad for a year or two.
yeah, I think we're fine. And then we still got Peterson, McGill, and
Well, yeah,
Luke
and that's the thing.
Casey. Yeah.
There's actually depth this year. So
Hmm.
and they're
Hmm.
talking 6-man rotation anyway, right?
Oh, I think we'll
Uh,
see it throughout the year over the course
little
of
load
time.
management.
Hmm. But I think I do think our rotation is, like you said, slightly better. I'd say slightly better because
Yeah,
now we
it's not
got
a huge like jump, but stay healthy.
stay healthy.
It's again a gauntlet of a division, right? Braves, Phillies. Here we go again.
Here we go
But
again. Well,
can't wait for the
awesome.
heartbreak.
Well, Dougie, it's been a great hour with you on the
Yeah,
air.
man. It always flies by, and I did not come prepared with a Via con Dios. Do you
No,
have one? Let's think
Vaya
one real
con
quick.
Dios. I can say Vaya con Dios to the New York Islanders 2024 third round draft pick.
Oh, we hardly knew you. Is there any shit? There's no one really. Via con Dios, Kenny Galladay. I think he got
He
officially
did. He
released
got
this
cut.
week.
There you go. You're saving $6 million.
We
Yes,
haven't done
that is.
NFL in a while, but we will obviously.
We will. God damn it! I hope I'm right about Aaron Rodgers.
That what?
He's coming to the Jets. The trade's already done.
Do you think he is okay with pooping in the dark, or did he cheat?
Oh, he definitely used the rest. Well, I don't know. I've never done ayahuasca. I've certainly never done 4 days of ayahuasca.
Have
So
you
I'm
not?
sure.
I figure since you're in LA, I mean, pretty much
No, but
everybody has
I
to.
mean, dude, you no. I don't think I could handle fucking ayahuasca,
Yeah, the
but
poor
yeah, man.
Alex if she would have to babysit you.
Oh God, no, thank you. So, so yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there was a shaman that was wiping his ass or whatever the hell's happening.
Anyway, all this sounds great for the Jets starting quarterback next year,
Hey, man,
right?
he could fucking come in a walker and a cane and do better than we've had in the. I
Fair,
like Derek Carr's numbers last year.
right?
Derek Carr's numbers last year, like 3,500 yards, 24 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, would have been the second best Jets quarterback in the history of Jets quarterbacks. Dude, that's how bad. It's
Hey,
like historically bad.
I mean, like stats are a little inflated these days, but yeah, that's pretty bad.
Whatever,
It's
whatever,
pretty bad.
man. Yeah, I think Ryan Fitzpatrick is like our number two all time, like passer
That one
season.
insane year he had. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that was
yeah,
the
Fitz
Fitz
baby,
magic.
Fitz magic. All right, Dougie. Well, it's been great. I look forward to catching up with you next week. It'll be a good pre-birthday
Yes,
celebration. Yeah. So
and
we'll talk. We'll talk. We'll
we'll
talk.
meet the Mets a little more too. So
Yeah, we'll
we'll
get
see
in
you
depth
all
on the
then.
Mets next week. All right, guys. Till next time.